Hello and welcome to another Music Tip Tuesday. This one's going to be for my instrumentalists, anybody who plays keys. So my piano players, flute players, even euphonium players can take a little bit from this particular tip. I am going to be using a flute for this tip, so go ahead and hang tight. This tip is a pretty simple tip. It wouldn't take very long to explain, so let's start. When you're playing an instrument and you need to move through a fast passage, we want to make sure that we keep our fingers close to the instrument. We don't want to wave while we're playing the flute or euphonium. Euphonium we don't want to do woo all the way up. Even the piano, we don't want to have our fingers like this, because what happens is it slows down the whole piece. We're not able to move our fingers as fast if our hands are so high above the instrument. So let's go ahead and take a quick listen. So let's start with just a B triad, or B flat triad, sorry. Okay, so you saw I got my fingers pretty close to the flute. I didn't bring my fingers up too high. What happens if I try to really lift those fingers up? So you hear, it's actually a lot harder to play. I made some note mistakes because, again, my fingers didn't all lift up and get back down all together at the same time, and it had to slow down the tempo. So again, if you want to stay at the tempo that you're working on, which is a fairly fast tempo, you need to keep those fingers close to the flute. Right? So the next thing I want to show you really quick. So this instrument's really good for it. I do have my piano back here, but it's an electronic piano. I don't have any way of showing you the inside, so that's not going to be a very good visual aid. This will be, though. So take a look. So I'm bringing the flute up really close. You see these little tiny holes? So that's what we're doing. We're covering that hole to change the sound, and then we're lifting our finger up to uncover the hole to change it to a different note, right? Like this. Now, as you can see, I don't have to go like this for it to bounce all the way back up. I just need to lift it up enough that that hole is uncovered. They have another kind of key, sorry, excuse me, where you can see I'm pushing down to open this side, but then I just need to lift up. I don't need to lift my finger way high. I just need to lift it up just high enough so that the hole is covered. So again, when you're playing your instrument, you don't need to play anything crazy with the hand. We don't need to wave or anything like that. We just need to keep our fingers close to the actual instrument. So what can you do to practice that? Well, we just did that B flat triad. B flat, D, F, D, B flat. Another thing you can do is a 5-note scale. You'll notice if your fingers are too high, you won't be able to play it at that speed. You'll have to slow it down. The last thing you can do, which is something that a lot of instrumentalists don't think to do, and this goes for all of them, including piano players, so this is for everybody. I'm just using the flute one more time, just saying that, just using the flute today. Look in a mirror. You can actually physically see what you are doing. We're in the digital age, so you could turn on your camera. You don't have to take a picture or a video of you doing this. You could just look at yourself in your computer and look, am I doing this? Or am I doing this? If it's the second one, you know that you need to go ahead and change and bring your fingers a little bit closer. The more you practice playing your instrument with your fingers close to the actual key so that you're able to play it quickly, the easier it becomes and the more comfortable it becomes too. This really isn't comfortable. You see, my arms are like flapping. We don't flap when we play the flute. We should actually be sitting nice and tall like this when we play. So keep your fingers close to the keys of the instruments that you're playing. It helps you play faster, it gives you better posture, and it just sounds better.